Alan was part of our lives for a number of years, and the overall memories lies in his total kindness to other people, his love for animals.
Daar was nie 'n dag wat dit nie vir ons absoluut wonderlik was nie. Ek en Louis gaan sukkel met die leenes-sindroom. Maar ek weet, en ek praat namens Louis ook, ons sal hom nooit vergeet.
Maar weet, ek is nie spyt. Ek het hom vriende gemaak nie. En weet, hy was 'n baie goeie vriend. En om so 'n vriend te verloor in hierdie wêreld, dis amper soos jy verloor. Weet, hy was kosbaar, 'n lieflike mens, vriendelike mens.
There's one more angel in heaven. There's one more star in the sky.
He was just unbelievable.
Ellen was die beste vriend wat ek gehad het, so kort tydjie.
Alan was such a gentleman to me. He had a light on my life as well and an impact, yeah.
He was always trying to do the right thing.
Never spoke a bad word about anyone.
I never ever saw him without a smile on his face, ever. How can anybody be like that in this world? So we could all learn from that, couldn't we?
I would cry because of Alan. Alan was a good person.
Very much a family man.
En het baie van sy familie, van sy broers, susters en van sy ma het gesê oor en ek kan sien hy het 'n groot liefde vir hulle gehad.
He just loved his family. And he was such a family man, and his brother from Spain, he was so proud of.
He always had a story to tell about his brother. He was so proud of his family, proud of his mom. He was the neatest guy I've ever known, that when he stayed at my house. He left everything so tidy, you wouldn't have said that anybody stayed there. And I used to comment on it, and he'd say to me, Sharon, my mom would smack me if I wasn't neat, you know, because that's how he was brought up. And he says my mom was very strict when it came to neatness.
He was very happy with the smaller things in life, incredibly humble. I don't think I've met a person as humble as what he was. He always had the kindest things to say about most people. I know that's easy to say about anybody, but he really was that way.
I can just say I had one of the best brothers ever. Somebody referred to him as the gentle giant, and I think that was what he was.
It's amazing to see what an impact he made, and I wish he realised his worth and realised how many people loved him, and he had so much love inside of him, which was really lovely to see, and how he had grown as a person.
I used to often see him doing things and think, wow, you know, you are actually putting yourself in a negative position by being so nice sometimes, you know, and he was. But then I think maybe that's why he's managed to meet so many nice people.
Always caring, never said a bad word about anyone, accepted everybody, and he had so many challenges in his life, struggled at school and went out, and what was so amazing is how well he actually really did, considering all these challenges as he had. And it's really lovely to see how people actually loved and cared for him.
And for that, we have to congratulate and tell his mother Val that she really brought up a good person, a caring person, and very honest and non-critical. Alan had this ability to communicate with everyone across all borders, and to him it came naturally because he had no prejudices against anybody.
We just met here in Stanford. I saw this big man walking the dogs every now and then I say, hi, what's your name? And then I say, I'm Tommy, but he knew me and he would always tease me like in such a way, like, and then I say, Alan, are you okay? And then he will say to me, no, but why I'm saying this? Because you tried to steal my job. And then I said, no, Alan, I will never steal your job. He said, why are you walking dogs? And then I said, the dog is mine, Alan. And then I said to him, okay, Alan. He said, no, I knew, Tommy, but I'm trying to pull your leg. I said, you can't pull my leg because you are too big and I'm too tiny. I can come under your feet quickly, Alan. And then, yeah, it went on and on. Like 4 o'clock, you see him on Long Market with his dogs. And then he introduced me to people who say, hey, this man is trying to steal my job. And then I would say the same thing as well, because I'm in a garden industry where I cut grass, and then I see him with his bucky with lots of branches, and then I say, Alan, what comes around comes back to you. What are you doing here? And then he said, no, Tommy, we can share the jobs together. And then I'll make fun out of him. He's just like he was just like a good friend to me, yeah.
Hy is so 'n goeie mens gewees. En hy was elke dag was Ellen dieselfde. En ek en Ellen het groot vriende geraak. Ons het mekaar verstaan en mekaar. Ek kan nie baie Engels praat nie, maar tog ek het Ellen het gesels en ons gelag en ons Ellen partykeer praat Ellen daar van sy familie en so aan. Dan van die werke wat hy gedoen het en dan gooi Ellen my 'n bietjie van die spoor af. Maar ek maak nie of ek nou nie verstaan nie. Ek sê vir hom nie, ja en so.
Always a smile on his face. And yeah, hy was net, hy was iemand wat ek seker nooit sal kan vergeet. Ek het hom altyd gesien met troeteldiere, sy honde stap in die pad. Baie het hy geloop met so 'n groot Rottweiler. Sal dit nooit vergeet nie. En ek het nog gedink, sjoe, 'n groot man met 'n groot hond, dit spreek boekdeel is. Mens wat omgee vir diere is 'n mens.
And, Alan came to me initially to walk my dogs. I was looking for someone to walk my dogs. I wasn't able to do it because I'd been ill. And Alan arrives on the scene. He's now going to walk my dogs for me. Great. And everything was going well. The dogs loved him. And I could see that there was a lot more to Alan than met the eye. And we became quite close friends after a while. And he would start. He would help me with things that I couldn't do or I needed help with. And he was a great assistance and a great friend in the end. As I say, he starts off as an employee and he ends up as a good friend. We sorely missed him, I'm afraid.
He knew he was loved and cared. He had friends, Lena, Donnie and Caroline. More friends in town than we ever realized. And it is at this point where we now discover how Alan reached out and integrated Stanford as a community.
I met Alan, I think, too late in my life. I only met him 1.5 years ago when I moved to Stanford, and I was staying in a rented cottage. And Alan walked my dogs, and he always helped me out with whatever needs I had, and he stayed with my dogs. And that's my aunt and I dubbed him Elsie Geselsie. And we actually decided that we would only just chat to him every second day, because otherwise the dogs don't get walked to him. He always had a ready smile, a ready story, and he didn't have a bad bone in his body.
Alan was a good person who loves and cares anyone, and me in person without looking the color of my skin or something in return. May his soul rest in peace. We will miss him.
There was a certain boldness in the way that Alan lived his life. He lived with boldness, like the daisy.
Always a very generous person. Never, as I said, he never spoke bad about anybody, but he was always there with a chocolate for Cookie. He was there, you know. Anybody's birthday, he will come with a little gift, you know what I mean? He's always had that in his mind.
He was such a great-spirited person, and where he could help, he would. If he could help the community, animals, anyone that it was in need, Alan was the person for you.
So we were very proud of Alan when he got to know some of the people over here and in Stanford, and we started working, doing dog walking and looking after a few houses. All the people that he met and who entertained his work, he really enjoyed their company, and he was very happy working with them.
Soos ek hom geken het, kan ek sien sy huis wat hy uitkom. Hy's groot gemaak met respek, dissipline, nie verseker is hy vir almal. So ek sal sê Stanford, weet julle het iemand verloor wat kosbaar was. Julle het iemand verloor.
We're really thankful for Louis and Nellie for coming into his life, and Leona, and all those people who've helped in so many different ways. We're so grateful, and it's amazing to see what an impact he made. And I wish he realised his worth and realised how many people loved him, and he had so much love inside of him, which was really lovely to see, and how he had grown as a person.
And he was my mom's darling, and my mom was his darling. He loved my mom. He'd do everything for my mom, always worrying about her. I think that was the thing. He was worrying about other people more than he was worrying about himself sometimes, and that was his quality.
His kindness, all the help he gave me over the years. He helped me with my 5 children. I told Alan when he was in hospital a few weeks ago, I told him one thing, that his father did. He made 5 lovely children for me. I think everywhere Alan went, he was loved, and I'm glad that his last days he was very happy here.
I'm really proud of him, really, really proud of him. I love him to bits, and to my mum, he's always going to be there. I know he's gone,